You are watching the USA Cycling Cyclocross Secretary presentation on Working with Results. The role of Secretary in Post-Event Responsibilities Part 3 concerns the processing of results, preparing the documents, and transmitting the results. The year the World Championships are held is used to calculate a cross rider's racing age and their eligibility for junior, U23, or elite events. As soon as the race finishes, confirm with the chief judge the race lead-in distance, that is to the finish line, the course length used to determine the average speed, and the total number of laps in the race. That is obtained at the end of the race. Some of this information can be obtained by listening to the race radio, although you may be busy at the time. This information is not required to upload results to DataRide, but it is recorded for the PCP's post-event reporting, and it can be printed directly on the results. Results may come to you in different formats. If a Finish Links camera is used, you'll likely get a LIF file. If chip timing is used, you might get a CSV file. If no photo finish is available or if something goes wrong, you may have to rely on the handwritten results of the chief judge. No matter what the format, the principles in filling in the data on the UCI DataRide results template is essentially the same. Gather all the information you need to verify the final results. The chief judge's order of finish, including the times for all riders, and the 80% information with laps remaining when the rider was withdrawn. If you're working from handwritten results, gather all the information you need to verify the final results. The chief judge's order of finish, including the times for all riders, is necessary if you have no confirmed results from the timing company. You may need to decipher this information. This is one judge's scoring sheet, and this is the assistant judge's sheet of only the results for the same race. These rider times are much easier for the secretary to read, but you never know what you're going to get. You'll also need to verify the 80% information with the laps remaining when the rider was withdrawn. This should be on a form directly from the 80% commissaires. Compare the 80% information to what the chief judge provides you. If they do their job correctly, you'll be able to determine, based on the time recorded and the number of laps remaining, exactly what their order of the riders should be. Be watchful of riders who were lapped by the leader. Their at time would reflect a very low time as opposed to a time near or after the 80% time. Here, the 80% time is 6 minutes and 10 seconds. If number 39 was recorded at 2 laps with a time of, for example, 24 seconds, they should be listed behind number 36 at -3 laps, not ahead of 36 at 2 laps. Note that in cyclocross, the number of laps remaining to be completed by the rider are listed in the results, not the number of laps down as in criterium scoring. So the final order of finish for the riders pulled at 80% starts from the bottom of the 80% sheet with number 21 at -1 lap, then the riders at 3 laps in order of who was fastest, number 36 at -3 laps, and then number 39 at -3 laps. When you get the LIF file from the timing company, the first thing you want to do is save that LIF file either as an LIF or, much easier, just simply rename it when you save it to CSV. If by chance you happen to save it as LIF, it's pretty easy just to rename that by right-clicking on the file name, select LIF, delete that, rename as CSV, and say, yes, that's fine, and do replace it with CSV. That way, when you go to open the file in Excel, you'll be able to open it. Excel won't accept a LIF file as something that it recognizes. You're going to simply copy the places and paste values under rank copy the bib numbers and paste the bib number values under bib, copy last name and first name and paste those under the correct columns. The team name is a little bit different. They want a 3-letter code, and in this case we won't copy those at all. Copy the times, and this is going to be a little bit particular here. You paste those under result, but that's supposed to be a text file. We're going to take our laps and put those over underneath the result and drag the places down. Remove the DNFs because they don't actually get a rank if they're DNF. Let's take a look at these columns here. As I mentioned, they're really supposed to be in a text format. Here they're under custom because the LIF file had them as a specific number format. If I change it to text, you can see that it comes out in a decimal form, not in the time format that I want. So there's a formula that you can write. Text for the cell over there. That's our value in the format of hours, minutes, and seconds, end parenthesis, and enter. Now you can see that I have the correct time here. So I can just drag that formula down for all the cells, copy, which is a right click and copy, and or Control C, and paste special values. Okay. I also want the number formats. And now I have the correct time in time format. Here it's in general format, but you can see if I change it to text and enter, that it still is in the correct format. So that's the way I need to have that in the file in order to submit it. The gender needs to fill in either as M or W. For the country code, I'm going to use a lookup on team. I'll also use a lookup on my original spreadsheet. Phase is not used. Sort order is important. They have to be numbered in the order of the way that they should appear on the results. Just drag that down. So everybody has a sort order place. The DNFs are there, but no place again under the rank for a DNF rider. The UCI ID, I'm going to make a formula to copy those over from my original spreadsheet. If you can't do that, you'll have to look them up and paste everyone in. The UCI ID needs to be in an 11-digit format without any spaces when you submit it. I'll open up the file that I have my registration in. I'm going to move those over so that I have this column free here. It's probably easier to put it all into the LIF file. The formula I use to look it up is equals index, and what I want to index is, from my registration sheet, the UCI ID, comma, match. The value I want to look up is B2 in this case, same row, comma. Where I want to match that number from is in the bib column on my registration tab, comma. I want an exact match, so it's 0, and close out my parentheses, it's 2 of them, and enter. And there's Stephen Hyde's UCI ID. And we can see that it is indeed the correct number. So I can just drag this formula down into the rest. I can copy that. I use Command C or right click and copy. Go to the spreadsheet and edit, paste special values. Okay. For the country code, it's a very similar thing to this formula, except that I want the nation. So I can just copy this whole formula over, escape, go to another cell, paste it, and I'll edit this. What I'm going to take out is that instead of looking for the UCI ID, I want to look for the nation, and still checking the bib number with everything on the bib number on my registration sheet. So my array here is correct. And there I have USA, which is correct. I can drag that down. Command C to copy, go or right click and copy. Go to the country, paste special values. Okay, and there's my country. The last column I need to fill in is the IRM column. Going back to the reference code again, the IRM includes the disqualifications, did not start, did not finish, and lap for lapped riders, or riders that were pulled. In this case, I need to fill in lap for my ATLAP riders, you want to use this drop down. You can copy and paste that into the ones that are lapped. Just dragging it down. DNF, again, I want to use the little drop down just to make sure that it's going to take DNF. And I'll just go ahead and click that one in there again, DNF. Those two are DNF. Phase, again, is not used. And this should be everything that I need to be able to submit this to DataRide. So File, Save a Copy. And I want to save this as the event name so I can see what I have a little bit better. My event, UCI, Saturday, C1, Men Elite. If you want, you could always change the reference to be even more precise so that if you have many files, you won't get it lost. Men Elite Saturday, UCI Rochester. So I'm going to put in here C1 Rochester, results Men Elite. And I'm going to save this into my UCI folders. If the PCP doesn't want to give you their DataRide login information, send them the file to be uploaded. Go to the course materials for this classroom and download the UCI DataRide information file you're going to need, the DataRide guide for cyclocross events or the DataRide guide for mountain bike events. Save this file to a location where it can be easy to find anytime you need it. It may be able to assist you in troubleshooting and upload. In this section, I'll be showing you how to upload the results to DataRide. You go to dataride.uci.ch and you'll log in there using the credentials that the PCP has given you. Without that, you can't upload to their results. Once you've logged in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a drop-down box that says Results. Click on that and it'll bring up a screen that looks like this DataRide screen. Click on Results. I don't have a blank cyclocross race that I can use as a test example without submitting anything. So I'm going to be using a road race result that I have. I don't really want to mess up my World Championship results here, so what you're going to be looking at is under discipline you can find cross or mountain bike if you have mountain bike. And here's the event that I'm going to be using. You'll notice up in the upper left hand corner there's a code that includes a CP. That's the competition code. Now I'm going to copy that code, go to my DataRide Excel file, and on the General tab, in the first cell to fill in, that's where the competition code is going to go. The event code is taken from next to what you will see as General Classification for Cyclocross. And it goes for each individual category. Each category has its own event code. That goes in the second line. Race type is blank. Competitor type, you need to use a drop down and select A for athlete. The result type is on time. The version is 1 through 10. And to start with, you need to select the drop down. You can't just type in 1.0, it won't work. If you submit a result and submit a new one, you need to increase that for the second submission. Select the classification. In your case, it'll be general classification listed under one of the, it'd be like under Men Elite for this example. Import results, Excel file. Select the file and just browse to where that is in your drive. In this case, I have it kept under the UCI files. It's section 4, UCI files. I want the one that says Saturday C1 Rochester results, Men Elite. Select that file, OK. Once that's uploaded, notice the orange bar that says Review the highlighted selections. I have Sam O'Keefe, that should be Samuel, I'm guessing, from my earlier. Scotty should be Scott, and Greg should be Gregory. You might also have something highlighted like the nation, or a UCI ID that doesn't match the name. You might have rank highlighted if there's nothing under rank at all, because those have to be filled in. You also have to have something under sort order. The fields that you can modify online are only rank, bib number, team, and the IRM code, and the sort order. Those can all be adjusted manually online. But the actual UCI ID and name have to be as it is when you upload it. Going back to the Excel sheet, I'm going to open up that DataRide results file and fix these names that I know are incorrect. Samuel Scott, and Gregory. And now that I have those changes made, I can save the file. It auto-saved. And since I didn't hit submit, I can import results again on an Excel file, select the file again. Okay. And now when I look at the results that have been imported, you can see that there's nothing highlighted, nothing to fix. Everything looks right. Just do a double check that DNF is in the correct place. My laps are in the correct place. I have rankings for lapped riders, no rankings for DNFs, and submit changes. I'm not submitting changes here. If you don't want it to actually take, don't hit it, but you must absolutely click on submit changes in order to save the results. Once you've submitted the results, you want to go back to the original page and make sure that it says that it's done. That's also the job for the PCP to verify that the results are actually done. But since you're the secretary doing it on behalf of the PCP, make sure that those done marks are there. We have to make sure that the riders get their rankings correctly, that the results are fully submitted, and give all the backup paperwork to the PCP in case there are any changes to be made or corrections over time. So the PCP does need to take that paperwork with them, including the 80% report, all the backup paperwork from the chief judge, and anything that the timing company might have given, all the files. Log into your USA Cycling account. If you have upload permissions on your account, you'll find that under Race Director, Officials Tools, Submit, Manage, Race Results. Under Resources, you'll find all the Resource Submission Guide. It's a valuable resource for the way the information must be uploaded. The examples here are what is correct at the time of this recording. Current field requirements may periodically change. Regardless, you should find a detailed description of what is required to upload the race results to USA Cycling here. Note that you can use either a CSV file or an XLSX file, but I've always found the CSV file the easiest form to use as it can contain only a single worksheet tab. If you have difficulties uploading the results, you can access the Legacy Uploader in the Submit Results section. There you still have a link to the Results Submission Guide. Click on Choose File and navigate to the file you want to upload. Just follow the on-screen prompts. You can edit errors or missing data after uploading. Ensure your data files have uploaded correctly and that they are listed as done on the Data Ride event page. The Secretary gathers all the documentation for the PCP. They may need to refer to these documents if an upload didn't work right or if there's a dispute or disqualification after the event. The Race Director will also need files either for uploading results to USA Cycling or for posting results on their website. These can be emailed. Email addresses for USA Cycling include media and rankings. You can now move on to the quiz for Part 3, Processing Results. If there's additional homework assigned, please also complete those exercises.